What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Black Geek Cool podcast, where we talk about comic book and sometimes anime news from the past week, small and big screen. I'm your host, Gershon. This is episode 48. Yes, episode 48. Before we get into the episode, if you can, please go rate the podcast 5 stars. Like it on, if you're watching it on YouTube, like it. Rate it on 5 stars on any of the podcast apps you use, Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, all those. Just go rank it. It helps the podcast boost us up in the algorithm so more people get to listen or view it. And that would be greatly appreciated. And it's one way you can support the podcast. If you want to support the podcast financially, you can go to Patreon, Black Geek Cool, become a patron on there, have all kind of tiers. Do what you feel. If you would like to be on the podcast, the best way to do that is to be a Patreon. You'll get to be on one of the podcasts. So without that out the way, all that jazz, let's dive into the podcast, guys. So first up, small screen news. It's really hard to find news right now because everything's delayed, but there is some news out there. So first up, Netflix is doing this thing where you can watch with other people. They call it Netflix Party Watch. I think it's like a Chrome extension thing where you can link up and be able to watch a Netflix show or movie with a gang of people at the same time. It all syncs together. Really cool idea, being that everybody's stuck in the house and can't communicate, but now we can watch the same thing at the same time and talk about it on the phone and all that good stuff. Really cool of Netflix to do that. That's a really interesting way of doing it. I know people have been doing that on Facebook with watch parties. People have been doing that on Facebook. I think sometimes people do it on like Twitch. So it's a way to stay connected to people, being that you've been isolated in your house for the last like 2, maybe 3 weeks for some countries. And it doesn't seem like it's gonna stop anytime soon. We're going to be left in the house on lockdown for maybe 2 to 3 more weeks. So this is a great outlet to stay in touch with people and watch movies too. So great idea, Netflix. Even though I think they stole it from Facebook, basically. But it is what it is. Next up, so Westworld season 3 is out. They've had 2 episodes so far. The first episode had the lowest ratings the show has ever had. Being that it was gone for 2 years, it makes sense. It took me a second to realize what happened in season 2, and season 2 wasn't the greatest season to leave off on. And 2 years of hiatus. I mean, some of it's out of their control. There was a wildfire, scheduling, all that kind of messed them up, but hopefully they start growing back. People come back to the show, realize it's on. It's unfortunate y'all took such a long hiatus, so that's why those ratings for the first kind of episode. I didn't get the details for the second episode, how those ratings were. Hopefully they're doing better. But yeah, kind of sucks, but I'm very interested in the show. It's getting a little, it's not weird, but they're doing a lot of stuff and we got to catch up to it, which I kind of like because they're not hand feeding you everything, which is cool. You actually have to pay attention to see what's going on, but it's always confusing in the beginning, and then halfway through you start realizing what's going on. You're like, oh, that's why that happened, which is cool, but it's always kind of confusing in the beginning, and sometimes you lose viewers with that. So hopefully that doesn't happen for season 3. Hopefully season 3 is a lot better than season 2. Just to be 100% honest with you. Other news, a lot of HBO Max launch titles that were kind of originals have been delayed. So we're not sure if HBO Max is going to launch in May like they said they were. I think they should still launch because, hate to say it, we might still be on somewhat of a lockdown even in May. So you'll have a streaming service for people another one for people to use. You already got people at home, go ahead and put it out there. Like, it makes perfect sense. But I can see where they're kind of worried because a lot of their stuff got delayed. Like the Friends reunion show they were doing, that got delayed. The Game of Thrones show they were working on, prequel, that got delayed. I think like some DC some DC live action shows they were working on got delayed. So that sucks. It does. But I think they should still launch because they still have a large category of stuff on their streaming service that people want to watch. Like you have Fresh Prince. People are going to watch that. Like they're going to watch it. I think did they get all the Friends? I think they got all the Friends. People are going to watch that too. But they have a good library to compete right now. They have good shows, and if they put it out, I think they'll be okay. In the worst case scenario, people will just sign up later, not exactly when you launch. So I don't think that's such a big deal. Your whole thing is about getting subscribers, and if you just slowly grow, that's most important. Especially since you can't really do anything else. You could throw reruns on your shows, but most people cut off cable, so you don't have that. You hit HBO now is technically HBO Max, but you haven't put all the other stuff you guys acquired on HBO now. You're waiting for HBO Max, so just put it out there. That's my opinion. And other news, there's a Harley Quinn animated series trailer for season 2. I still haven't finished season 1, but give me a second. Let me watch this trailer right quick. All right, it looks fun. I've definitely got to finish season 1. Still raunchy. I seen Mr. Freeze and Catwoman. I know they were supposed to be coming season 2. I think who is voicing Catwoman? I think is it Rosario Dawson? I don't know if it's her. I think it's somebody else. I think it's somebody else that's actually voicing. Let me double check. Yep, I'm Googling. But it looks really good. It looks really good. I definitely need to finish season 1. Like, I really like the show. It's really fun. It's interesting. It's cool. It's hard to type and talk. I'm sorry, guys. But season 1 really looks good. I seen they had what are those called from Apocalypse? Sanaa Lathan isn't doing it, is it? Is Sanaa Lathan doing it? Yeah, she is it. Sanaa Lathan. I love her, so that's cool. But I seen what they're para. I forget what they call it. They're dark-sized minions. They fly around. I seen those guys. Apparently, Harley Quinn has become the biggest villain. I guess they took out the Justice League or something. I still have to watch season 1, so it kind of spoiled some stuff, but I still want to know how it happened. So I still can watch it and still be good. But yeah, let me know how you feel about season 2, if you're excited for it. It comes out April 3rd, which is right around the corner, so I really need to start binging season 1 and finish that off. Yeah, let me know how you feel about it. Hit me up, BLACKGEEKCOOL on Instagram, BLACKGEEKCOOL on Twitter, and of course, BLACKGEEKCOOL podcast at Gmail. Next up, Disney Plus has delayed their launch in India. So they were going to launch right when the cricket's tournament, India has a cricket tournament at that time. They were going to launch at that time. Being everything's been shut down with the coronavirus, they decided not to launch, which I don't know why. I think you should launch, but I guess I seen something earlier that there was a lot of Netflix and YouTube stopped streaming high def streaming in like Europe because they were worried about it crashing the internet. If they're doing it because of that, because they think that launching in India would create so much more traffic that it would crash it. That makes sense if they're doing that. So I get that. But if that's not the case, then launch it. People are at home, you get new subscribers. That's what you're built for. That's what you're trying to do with this. But yeah, that sucks for India. They don't get to see Disney Plus. I'm pretty sure they're big there too. Disney's big there. Disney's big everywhere. Let's be honest. But yeah, that sucks. So they don't have that to hang out while they're on quarantine. In other news, Rosario Dawson will be playing Ahsoka in Mandalorian Season 2. This is really cool because I like Ahsoka. I like Rosario Dawson. I think she does a great job when she's acting and stuff. So I think this is a perfect fit to add her to Season 2 of Mandalorian. I really want to see more Jedi stuff. It doesn't say if she's going to be in like the whole season per se or just episodes here and there. Being that Mando knows the child is a Jedi, he will be searching for Jedis. There's a rumor that dude from the Rebels that was a Jedi, I forget his name. He was the kid that grew up to become a Jedi in the Rebels cartoon. He might be in the Mandalorian Season 2 as well. It's a rumor, not 100% guaranteed. But they also added, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, Michael Biehn from the first Terminator movie. He played, I forgot. He's basically, what's the name's father that came back from the future. Came from the future to protect his mom who fell in love with, you know the crazy Terminator timeline. He's also was in the first Alien movies, I believe. The first Alien movie. He's also going to be in Season 2. They say he's cast as like a bounty hunter, so they don't give much detail who his character is and whatnot. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big Star Wars. Why did I say it like that? Star Wars. I don't know everything about Star Wars, so he might be playing some really well-known bounty hunter, which would be cool for fans. For me, it'd be just cool to see if he has a cool outfit on. So if his character is really cool or something like that. So, of course, that's still not... Well, they actually wrapped. So they've already shot all this. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, they wrapped. I forgot they did that. So I think Season 2 of Mandalorian's already in can. They're editing and stuff like that right now. So that might still be on track to come out this year like they said it would, which would be really cool, which would be really good for them because they don't have a lot of originals. A lot of their stuff got delayed and stopped shooting because of the coronavirus. So they'll still have that one in the can to be able to put out there and still say they have some original Disney Plus shows. That's really interesting. I forgot that got delayed. In other news, I finished Beastars. Really good show. It's on Netflix. It's I know I talked about it last podcast. I watched like 4 episodes. I binged the whole thing in like 2 days. It's really good. It's different. It's like Zootopia, more rated R, more primal, but a lot more character development. You really go on this journey with these characters, and it's really well done. The animal thing is still weird, but it blurs away after a while. It's really good. I'm really excited to see what happens in Season 2. I don't like the way they ended it, but I understand it. It sucked the way they ended it because you wanted some stuff to be answered, but it doesn't. I'm not going to tell you what that stuff is, so you can go watch it and find out. Hopefully, I'll do a review on it soon. This is kind of like a minor review, but we're going to get into spoiler stuff in my other review. But really good anime. Definitely check it out if you like character development stuff. It's really good, and it's not too long. I think it's 12 episodes, 30 minutes a piece. Really good. Check it out. Beastars on Netflix. It's dubbed, so you don't have to be reading stuff. You know I hate reading. You know how I am. But I also watched this anime called... what was the name of it? I totally blanked on the name. If I remember it somewhere in the podcast, I'll tell you guys. I blanked on the name. I've only watched 1 episode. it was alright. Like, there's this fight scene I thought was really cool, but then when I see it in the episode per se, it's not as cool as I thought it was. So I don't know if I'll keep watching that one. But I'm on the lookout for more anime. I still am watching Castlevania. I'm on episode 7, trying to finish that up. Really pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, pretty good. My Hero Academia is kind of doing filler episodes right now. It is filler, to be honest. It moves the plot along, but very slowly. We're waiting to get to this sports festival. I'm like, it's like 3 to 4 episodes just talking about the sports festival, setting up for the sports festival, and nothing really significant has happened in the story. I mean, you get the new villain. If you don't know, he's kind of a YouTube villain. I still don't know his story per se, but they're dragging along, which is kind of irritating. But still keeping up with that. Watched Demon Slayer. I'm on the episode with the kid that made his own family. It's like episode... Jesus, what episode is that? I think it's episode close to like 19, 18, 20, somewhere around there. That episode was really good. I don't like that they did so much time on him after... Like, they do this thing on Demon Slayer, when you kill a demon, they kind of do the backstory of that demon, but they usually do it real fast, like take a minute or two, which is cool. But this one, they did like a whole episode on this guy, but I guess he was one of the Keizokaze, so they felt they needed to expand that a little bit. Don't do that. I don't like that. That wasn't cool. I felt a little bit wasted. I don't need to know this whole guy's backstory. He's gone. He's not here anymore. Give me a little piece. I'm cool with that. But yeah, still love the show. And he just got to, I think they are the Keizokaze. Yeah. Well, they just got to like the high-end Demon Slayers, the top guys. He's meeting those guys right now. And they look cool. People say things ramp up from there, so I'm super excited. Unfortunately, I still have to wait like weeks to watch one episode because it comes out on Cartoon Network. It's the only place I found it dubbed. If you know somewhere else that is dubbed, let me know. Let me know now, because I know it's on Hulu, but it's all subbed, and I can't be reading that. There's too much action going on, and I don't even know how to pronounce some people's names. I'd rather hear it than try to pronounce it myself. It's just how I am. Yeah. What else was I watching? Let me see. I know. Oh, I'm going to watch Star. They showed a clip for Stargirl. Yeah, Stargirl. That's supposed to be. I think it's coming out on the 26th, and then on the 27th. They showed a clip of her flying. Was she flying? Yeah, flying with the staff. Looked kind of cool. Really interested in this. And what is that other one? Queen Vex. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it's called. Oh, let me see if I can find it right quick, because that's supposed to be coming out soon. There's that other show on Sci-Fi that's supposed to be coming out. I forgot the name of it. I think that comes out on the 26th. I gotta start putting this stuff in my calendar so I can remember. It's so much stuff. But yeah, we'll be checking that out. We'll be letting you guys know about that. Let me know if you're excited for Stargirl. I'm actually really excited for Stargirl. It looks different from all the CW shows, but it doesn't look as different as the DCU shows. It's like a mix between those, and I think that's gonna be their sweet spot. In other small screen news, the Walking Dead spinoff series, World Beyond, it's getting delayed. So it was supposed to come out April, so next month. They've actually pushed it back to, they didn't even give a date. They just delayed it. They didn't give a date. They said it's going to come out later this year. I get why they're doing that. Makes perfect sense. Hold off on new stuff for a little bit till you figure out what's going on with the coronavirus, because you can't shoot new stuff. I think season 10 has been delayed because of the coronavirus, so they're not finishing. They haven't been able to finish shooting that. So, makes sense. I think it's really weird. Walking Dead's got another spinoff show. But it is what it is. People are still watching it. I guess Michonne's, I don't know. I read something that I think Michonne's last show was here, but she didn't die. And there's a rumor that she's supposed to be going with Rick and be a part of his 3-picture deal that he's supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be doing a Rick Grimes movie, at least 3 pictures or something, like 3 films for that. And apparently she might be a part of that. Very interesting if they do that. But yeah, I think that's all I have for small screen news this week. As always, you can hit me up. Let me know if there was something I missed, something you wanted me to talk about. I'll definitely put it in the next podcast. Hit me up, BLACKGEEKCOOL on Instagram, BLACKGEEKCOOL on Twitter, or BLACKGEEKCOOLpodcast@gmail.com, or hit me down in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Alright guys, time for big screen news. So, the movie The Trench was a spinoff of, I blanked out for a second, Aquaman 1. So they're still doing The Trench. They say it's supposed to be between Aquaman 1 and Aquaman 2. With the shutdown of everything, that might get changed. But they still say they're trying to make the Trench movie, which is interesting. Like one of the guys working on it sent out a tweet, like, just so you know, this is supposed to be going between Aquaman 1 and Aquaman 2. So there's some stuff in the Trench that might carry over to Aquaman 2. And if something changes, they might have to retool Aquaman 2 to explain what this is if the Trench doesn't come out in time. The Trench was an interesting idea. I like The Trench. It was a really cool part in the movie. Do I care about them to have a whole movie? Not necessarily. Just gonna be honest with you. Don't really care to see a whole movie with The Trench. That's just my feelings. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see if that does get made now, being that things have been pushed back. They see if that's important enough to make. I don't think it is, but well, I mean, Warner Brothers do really well with like one-shot stories. Joker did amazing. That's kind of the only one. Well, at least live action so far. That's the only one that really did really good. But technically, Trench is not a one-shot story. It's a spinoff, so whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyway, in other news, Bloodshot has been put on digital video on demand. So if you want to, you can go check out Bloodshot right now. You go pay for it. If you didn't get to see it in the theaters, I actually did get to see it in theaters, and I've posted up my review of it. Check that out on YouTube, BLACKGEEKCOOL channel. Or if you're on YouTube right now, you can see I'll put a little link. But check out my review of that. It's actually a really good movie. I'm not gonna lie, it's really good. It's fun. It's interesting. But yeah, there's still a lot of movies that have just been released onto video on demand that were in theaters at the time, right before coronavirus hit and shut down theaters. So Birds of Prey has just been released early on digital, like a month early, so you go get that. The Rise of Skywalker has also been released early. There was not a lot of people. It wasn't a lot of people weren't like on Twitter talking about that, which is interesting. It's still Star Wars, but it didn't seem to get as much of a shakeup as you would think it would when it got released, which is very interesting. Bad Boys for Life got released early, but they actually added some other stuff. They added a different ending and some special features on there, which is really cool. So I might have to go check that out because I didn't get to go see it in the theater when it came out. I just didn't get to go at that time. What else got released? I talked about The Hunt. Let me see what else. I know there's like 2 of them that I didn't write down. I pushed the wrong thing, and you probably guys can. I don't know if you guys can hear me typing. But yeah, they're releasing. I know a couple studios are still upset. With the, I don't know who did Trolls. I think it's Universal. So Universal is still the only movie theater to release a movie. Try to release a movie on digital before it even went to theaters. They're still the only one right now. Onward has actually been released as well. You could buy that, and it's going to be on Disney Plus April 3rd. So in 2 weeks, it'll be on Disney Plus. So you can either buy it now or wait till it's on Disney Plus if you have Disney Plus. But like I was saying, Troll World Tour is still the only movie saying they were going to release digitally before they even go to theaters. They haven't listed it anywhere. They actually got some backlash from theater chains. Theaters wrote them or tweeted them something. Kind of a mean message. I get it. They're taking money out your pocket. I understand that. But from their perspective, they we don't want to hold this movie. We done put a whole bunch of advertising into it. Cups, because I got a War Tour cup when I went to the movie theater. And they got word of mouth for the movie out, and then it doesn't come out for 3-4 more months. People might not be interested, and they might get a big loss. This way, if they put it out now, they might recoup some of their money. But then people are saying this is going to change the way movie theaters work and the model of movies. So far, only one movie said they were going to release digitally before they even go to theaters, and that movie still hasn't set a date when it's coming out. So I don't think this changed the model. I think it changed the model from movies going from theaters to digital faster. That might have changed. But releasing movies immediately digitally, I don't think that's going to change. At least not as of this month. Depending on how long we're on lockdown, that could change. But as of this month, not so much. And a key example of that, Wonder Woman 84, they were really talking about releasing that digitally. A lot of fans was like, no, hold on to it. We'd rather see it in the theaters. We'll wait, no problem. So, Warner Brothers was thinking about releasing a lot of different movies digitally. But now they've come back and actually giving Wonder Woman a release date, a theater release date. They said they were going to release Wonder Woman August 14th, 2020. I don't think they should have did that. I think they should have waited on giving an actual date when they were going to release it. Just because they still don't know what's going on. They still don't know how things are going to be. How long before people feel safe to actually go to. Yeah, I think that might come back and bite them in the butt. But only time will tell. Hold on. I'm moving some stuff around. In other news, Minions have been postponed. Minions 2 has been postponed. I guess the studio had to shut down. So that got postponed. They didn't give any new release date on that. It's kind of weird. I don't know if more animated stuff will come out in the next couple months to a year, being that you can still work on those at home. You can send your finished work in and stuff like that, get edit, blah blah this. But I don't know how that's gonna hurt that industry as well. In all in all, it's gonna be real interesting in the next what can I say, year or so, because a lot of stuff got put on hold. It takes movies sometimes a year to 2 years before they finish the movie, then edit and all that good stuff, and they test screen. So it's really going to be interesting how Hollywood entertainment's going to be. Is there going to be a lot of movies that they were like, yeah, we're not going to release that. We're going to put that on the shelf. Are those going to come out in the places of other movies, being that they're already done and all that, just to have content to put out? It's going to be real interesting. In other news, there's a rumor that Zod will come back in the Supergirl movie they're working on. So there's a rumor that Zod will return. And the actor Michael, I forget his last name. I thought I knew it. I was so close to saying it. I forget his name. He played Zod in Man of Steel. They're saying that he will come back to reprise his role as Zod. Really be interesting. That means, because we know he's dead, so it has to be in some like kind of. It doesn't necessarily have to be a prequel movie, but it had to be like a scene from the past where she interacts with Zod. I know in the I believe in the old Supergirl movie she fought Zod. I can't be 100% sure. I vaguely remember that Supergirl movie. It was really weird. But yeah, interesting. That's going to be real interesting if that does happen. Yeah. In other news, I think that's all. Like I said, not a lot of news for big screen. A lot of stuff been delayed, makes it difficult to shoot. Everybody's kind of been put on hold until they can figure out what's going on with the world, basically. Oh, there is one thing I seen. I don't know who it was, but somebody that was working on the Justice League movie that got canned, that had Armie Hammer as Batman. He released a picture of Armie Hammer's Batman cowl, which looked kind of interesting. And then there's more pictures got released of the whole Justice League all suited up. The people that were going to play in, I think it's I can't pronounce his last name. Minrero? Why does that sound like Scooby-Doo? Oh, that's terrible. But he was making a Justice League movie. It got really far in production, but then it got canned. So some pictures of all the characters, like they have Flash, Batman, of course, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Martian Manhunter. They had those guys in costume. The picture is real fuzzy. I don't know. Maybe it was just a picture I saw, but it was real fuzzy, hard to tell. Yeah, check that out if you're interested. It looked kind of interesting. I don't know if they'll revisit that. I doubt it, but I don't even know if they shot footage. Very interesting. Oh, I did hear that Suicide Squad, I think they finished filming, and James Gunn is actually editing right now. Being that the Batman didn't finish filming, they still have to film. Suicide Squad might take the Batman's release date. Since I believe theirs going to get pushed back, they might take the Batman's release date, since the Batman can't shoot right now and probably won't be able to shoot for a while. They won't make that release date, which is good for them. I know a lot of movies are trying to shuffle around, and usually it's easier for them to shuffle their own release dates and try to take a whole new release date or carve one out. So that could be happening. So look out for that, guys. All right, that's everything I have for big screen news. As always, if there was something you wanted me to talk about that I didn't talk about, get my opinion on, let me know, and I'll definitely put it in the next podcast. All right, guys, now it's time for movies I did a live reaction trailer to and never got around to reviewing. Review. I think I'm keeping it. I like it. All right. So the movie we're doing is Men in Black International. Bear with me because I saw it a long time ago. Long time ago. I don't think I did a review for it. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. Hold on. Let me check. Hold on. Okay, I checked. I didn't do a review for it. I might have said something about it on a different podcast or something like that, but I didn't do an official review. So this is going to be my official review of it from what I remember from seeing it. Off the bat, it was bad. It was not very good. It didn't capture the feel of Men in Black. It was a continuation of the story. It wasn't a reboot, so that's why you really wanted to capture the feel of the first three Men in Black movies. At least have that kind of feel, and it didn't have that feel. It had a different feel that would have been okay if they leaned into it more, but it didn't feel like they leaned into the new feel they were going for more. Chris Hemsworth he did fine as his character. Tessa Thompson did fine with her character. I don't remember their names at all. I think his is L, maybe? No, that doesn't seem right. Maybe it's M. I don't know. I can't remember. This is going to be a terrible review. But I know I like the way Tessa Thompson's character found out about Men in Black and became a recruit just because she was so smart and very diligent in trying to learn this secret. I like that they let her not get nebulized in the beginning. The movie where she saw the alien, blah, blah, this. Her whole family did, but she didn't, so she knew about them from then and had just worked her whole life excelling in all forms of education and excelling in, like, police to the FBI to such heights to be able to get there. And then being fired because she was so crazy about it. Amazing. I'm trying to remember his stuff. Chris Hemsworth's character was thought to be a hero, but we turned to find out later that wasn't 100% true. The new leader, I forget her name, the leader of the Men in Black, she's okay. The fact that there's like different ones in different countries is interesting. I think they should have leaned on that a little more. I'm going to pronounce his name terribly wrong. He's in the Internals. Kumail Nanjiani. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name, bro. I love you. You're hilarious. You're funny. He plays this little alien. That little alien is hilarious. So cool. So funny. Hits the spot in many times. Works really good. And still has a bit of character development. Really works there. It's just, as a whole, this movie is not good. It's really not good. I do like the idea of their villain, those two dancer guys who are actually dancers in real life, made into villain, touche to them to get some mainstream look. Do your things, guys. But I like the villain. They were like, if I remember, one of multiple villains. Yeah. I know, this is really jumbled. So, overall, the movie itself was lackluster. It wasn't as funny as I thought it should have been. It had most of the funny parts, once again, in the trailer, which sucks. When it gets to the third act, there's this alien that has, like, 3 arms, this lady that he used to sleep with. She's, like, a criminal mastermind or, like, a mob boss type situation. But there's some really good stuff in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. So Tessa Thompson's character saw this alien when she was a child. Men in Black came and got the alien. The alien remembered her. So when the alien grew up to be a bigger alien who works for the 3-armed lady, stick with me, he remembers Tessa Thompson, and that's how they get saved in one situation where they don't get killed by them. That's really cool. I like that. Shows decent writing there. That worked out good. But then it turned out the villain was I just blanked on his name. Oh no. What is his name? I'm gonna get it. Give me a second. We're gonna call him Thor. Thor's character, I forgot the actor's real name. Thor, his mentor turned out to be the villain only because his body was taken over by this other alien. They wanted to get this powerful weapon off Earth so they can invade Earth, basically. That's basically the plot. I mean, it's Men in Black, so I'm not looking for the plot to be amazing or anything. Simple plot, that's fine. The way you go about it is what sets your movie apart. And the way they went about it, you kind of suspected him the whole time being the main villain. It was very like, hey, look at this guy over here. He's doing weird stuff. Yeah, we know he's a villain. The reason why he's a villain wasn't that great. It wasn't that great of a reason. I think they could have did a better job with that. But overall, the movie is like a 2. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was not good. Like Tessa Thompson and Thor, because I can't remember his name. How did I just forget his name? I said it like 3 times already. They have decent chemistry. Not as good as chemistry they had in Thor Ragnarok, but they had okay. It's about half of what they have in Thor Ragnarok, which sucks. That's what makes Thor Ragnarok really good, is their chemistry in that. They don't have such strong chemistry in this, which sucks. But, yeah, that's my quick review of Men in Black International. On my segment, movies, I did a live reaction to the trailer, but never got around to watching the movie review. All right, guys. So that's all I have for the podcast this week. Once again, thanks for listening. Just a reminder, you can listen to the podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Pocket Cast, iTunes, Stitcher, or anywhere you get your podcast. You can also listen to it on YouTube at BLACKGEEKCOOL YouTube channel. If you would like, appreciate you hit like and give the podcast 5 stars. Helps the podcast. A great way to support the podcast. Actually, even share the podcast. Let other people know you like the podcast. Get more people to listen to the podcast. Greatly appreciate it. If you like to financially support the podcast, there's many ways you can do that. You can do that by going to Patreon /BlackGeekCool. You become a patron, pledge a certain amount of money a month, and you get rewards. That will be a great way to do it. Or you can actually buy a BlackGeekCool t-shirt at Teespring /BlackGeekCool. Buy a t-shirt. I'm working on putting up another t-shirt. That also helps support the podcast financially, but you always still support the podcast just by letting people know about it. Oh, you also could go to Anchor, the website, not the app, BlackGeekCool and BlackGeekCool podcast, I think it is at Anchor, and give a donation there if you would like to. Whichever amount you would like to, you could do that there. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the support. It's greatly appreciated. Oh, before I forget, I want to give a special shout out to Mike for becoming a patron. He donated on Patreon. He's a patron. Appreciate it so much, man. It means the world to me that you did that. And I'm not going to say I cried, but I was really touched when I saw that you did that. I appreciate that so much. And I'll definitely get you your rewards on your tier very soon. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for the continued support. And I'll see you guys on the next podcast.